Okay, this video is an instruction video of how to assemble a Cedar built basic and a Cedar built Bear Lake sauna. They're essentially the same as far as how they get assembled. So as we start out, first you want to set your floor panel down, square it up to where you want it. Make sure it's in the right place because it's kind of heavy to move after it's all put together. Second step is to put on the first wall. So the goal here is to put the bottom lip of that wall on top of the surface of the floor panel. Once you do that, you want to make sure the edge of the wall that doesn't have the lip is flush with the end of the floor panel. As you can see here, one edge is flush, the one without the lip, and the other end of the wall that has the lip has that overhang. That way the back wall can interlock with that wall. Now, another little pro tip, if you're installing this by yourself, you can use a piece of scrap wood here to brace the wall to the floor. That way it holds upright and doesn't fall over while you go get the second wall. On the second wall, you're pretty much going to repeat the same process you did for the first wall. Each wall has labels on it. All you got to do is match up label to label. Whenever you're lining up walls, make sure to check for gaps. You want to make sure this trim lines up evenly, everything is flush, and there's not any major gaps. As you see here, everything's nice and tight. And probably the most important part when joining the walls together is making sure the top trims are level. Once you've got both walls tight and flush, on the back side you are going to use the pre-drilled holes and the long screws to secure the walls together. All pre-drilled holes are going to be marked. Blue usually means the long screws and red usually means the shorter screws. These screws will be enough to hold the wall up, so now you can go ahead and remove your brace. Now on to the third wall. Same process here. Line up label to label. Make sure everything is tight, no big gaps, everything is flush. And then use the pre-drilled holes to secure the walls together. All right, all three walls are up. Now it's time for the front wall. The first thing you're going to want to do is remove this set screw. This just holds the door in place for shipping. Just remove the screw. It'll help balance the wall. Slide the wall into place. Again, match label to label. Make sure there aren't any big gaps. Make sure the bottom lip of the wall is securely on top of the floor panel. Here you can open up the door to work as a kickstand to hold the wall up. Then you're going to want to feed any wires through any holes. Every model might be a little different, but if you see wires, make sure they get fed through the right holes. Similar to the other walls, use the pre-drilled holes that are labeled with the long screws to secure the walls together. Then you attach the wires together. Each wire should be color coded, so make sure to attach the same colors together. Now, using the labels on the bench and the 2D drawings you were provided with, let's install the benches. The long upper bench is usually the easiest one to start with. With the bench on the supports, underneath you'll find pre-drilled holes. Use the medium screws to secure the bench to the walls. Attach the plugs for the lights if your sauna is equipped with lights. After that, secure the upper L bench. Same process underneath our colored pre-drilled holes. Just a side note, cedar is a very soft wood and it is very easy to drill all the way through this wood. You can sink the screw maybe 1/8 or 1/4 inch deep, but don't go any deeper than that. Go ahead and install the bottom bench. Same process for this. Set the bench on top of the supports. Using the pre-drilled color marked holes, go ahead and secure the bench to the walls. Another side note, if you find large gaps between the ends of the bench and the wall, it's probably because you didn't get the walls squared up right, or because the wall panel is sitting unevenly on top of the floor panel. A 1/4 inch gap between the wall and the bench is okay. Any bigger than that, you'll probably want to go back and fix the walls. Find out where that discrepancy is so that way the benches can be tight against the walls. Also, it's important to remember you want the weight of the bench to be supported by the support, not from the screw. so make sure there isn't any gaps between the bench and the support. Once all the walls are secured together and the benches are in, it's time to place the roof. Placing the roof is definitely a two-man job. The goal is to get the first edge of that roof onto the top of the sauna. Once you get the edge of the roof on, then it's easy to slide. Have the second person go inside the sauna and just shimmy the roof onto the sauna. Once you've got the roof roughly slid into place, you want to make sure the overhangs on each side are the same. Make sure the left and right side are about the same distance, and then you want to check the front overhang. Standard overhang is anywhere between 15 and 24 inches. It's really your personal preference. Either way, you want to leave about 4 to 6 inches off the back. Once the roof is in place, using the long screws, attach the roof to the walls. These holes are not pre-drilled. Simply use 2 screws per wall at a 45-degree angle to secure the wall to the roof. Make sure you place the screw right underneath that top trim piece. After that, secure the floor to the walls. To do that, you want to be on the outside of the sauna and above the bottom trim piece on a downward 45-degree angle. Use a long screw to attach the wall to the floor. Similar to the roof, these holes are not marked. 2 screws per wall should be sufficient. Next up is to attach the gable flashing to the top of the metal roof. Everything is already pre-cut and pre-bent and pre-drilled. All you need to do is set it into place. Make sure the top piece is overlapping the bottom piece so that water doesn't get trapped underneath. Use the metal screws in the pre-drilled holes to secure the flashing to the roof. The gable flashing only belongs on the front and left and right side, or the upper and left and right side. The low end of the roof is the drip edge and does not need any gable flashing. It's critical that all pre-drilled holes are filled with screws that have rubber washers on them, as this will prevent any roof leaks. As the final step, install the corner trim pieces on the sauna. Circled in red are the pre-drilled holes. Use the medium-sized screws to attach the corner trim to the sauna. As for installing your heater, you'll want to refer to the manual that is provided with whatever heater model you have. Here's an example of how you could hang the Harvia kip, but again, refer to the manual that comes with the heater for proper installation guidelines.